I wanted to make a diary about my experience being homeless. This is my third day being homeless, and I finally got into a place where I can communicate what's transpired these past couple days. Uh, I was homeless officially 3 days ago, and I started out on my bicycle to the nearest homeless shelter, which was about 27 miles away in Morgantown, West Virginia, a place called Bartlett House. So I called them because the going wasn't easy. And the woman said, if I get there before 8 o'clock, I'm to walk right in. There'll be a bed for me, but I have to be there before 8. So I'd already done about 22 miles, and I was dead tired. It's not as easy as what I thought it would be. So I spent $12 on an Uber, and I got there at exactly 5:37. Well, I went to the door and rang the bell, and I said, you're the shelter manager told me to be here before 8. You'd have a bed for me. The woman said, no, we're full. And I told her my name, and she said, would you like to speak to me? So she came to the door and came outside. She said, sorry, but we're full. And I said, how do you know you're full when check-in time isn't even until 8 p.m.? She said, sorry, nothing I can do for you. So she goes over and walks over to the benches where a couple other people were sitting. And because my bike was in an Uber, the chain popped off. So I sat down to put the chain on, and she stands up and goes, sir, you cannot sit there. I told you to leave. We don't have any room for you. If you don't leave, I'm going to have to call the police. And I'm like, ma'am, I'm just putting my chain back on. Then I'm going to go. I'd only sat down for maybe 30 seconds. And she says, you can push your bike off the property, and when you're off the property, you can fix it. Well, by the time she said all this, I'd already had the chain back on. So I'm riding my bike, going to a motel, and there's a couple people walking up this long hill to get to where they have this homeless shelter. And I said, hey, the woman said they don't have any room. And the guy says, they'll have room. And he smiled. And I'm like, oh, are you like some kind of resident there or something? He says, no, sometimes you got to tip the person that's on the evening watch. And I'm like, tip? You mean give them money to stay at a homeless shelter? And he just smiled and he walked away. So I was dumbfounded at that point. So I made it to a motel, the Morgantown Motel. And at first they didn't want to let me in because I didn't have an ID. The front desk worker called the owner or manager down. And I'm not saying this is why he didn't want me in, but he was an Indian gentleman. And he's saying, no, I can't let you in. We need an ID. And I'm like, sir, you can look through my things. I'm not going to be cooking up any meth or anything like that. And he said, just prove to me who you are. So I used the biometrics on my phone that, is the security for my PayPal. And when he saw the money I had in my PayPal account, which isn't much, but which is more than what you think a homeless person would have, he said he would give me a room for $80 a night instead of the usual price of $50, and I had to give a $50 deposit. So I went and I got him his money, and he put me in a room that the toilet's broke, that you have to put water in the back to flush it. The bathtub doesn't work, and the least of my worries, the TV doesn't work. But that's fine. Tomorrow I'm going to try to go about 25 miles more down the road to a town called Fairmont, West Virginia, where they seem a little bit more professional. The thing about being homeless, I don't know if this is every state, but this is in West Virginia. If you're addicted to drugs, they'll let you in. If you are a parolee, they'll let you in. And after a week, not only do you get in, they give you your own apartment. I don't even think they let veterans in because they're supposed to go to a separate place. But the average person is the last in line to get any help. I'm not addicted to any drugs. I'm not on parole. I've never committed a felony. I just had a string of bad luck. And basically the only thing I need is to get an ID, and I'll be pretty good. So, thank you. I'll keep up and make posts when I can. Please like and subscribe. And in the description, I'll have my PayPal. If you can only send me 3 pennies, that's 3 pennies more I had the day before. Thanks.